Good evening, my name is John Wilker. I'm substituting for Hawk Robinson with RPG Research. We are doing Heroes of the Mist, Worlds of Beru, our weekly show that we do for fun and donations. We're here to show you how tabletop games look like at home. So we're doing everything as simply as a normal household would do it without a lot of special effects, etc. I am substituting because Hawk is just on his way home from PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia, where he was doing a couple panels specifically on using role-playing games in therapy and for using for inclusivity in role-playing games. Those were the two panels that he was doing. We will now introduce the players.
Hey there, I'm Adam. I'm going to be playing as Torin, who is a simple country boy who has went out and found himself an adventure. Huzzah!
What's his voice sound like?
Oh, he has kind of a twang to it, and he likes to talk about things, pretty much anything when you really get down to it. I mean, he could talk about the weather, he could talk about where he came from. Yeah, this one time when he was traveling out with his folks.
Okay, moving on.
I am Lillian. I am playing River. She is a sea spirit folk and martial artist, and she follows Raijin, Lord of the Sea.
Does everybody have character sheets?
And I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Darkwing Duck, it's you?
No. I'm Andy, and I am playing Talk, who has a bit of a Celtic lilt, a little bit of Scottish, a little bit of Irish, kind of a mix there a little bit. But he is a gnome who is an illusionist and fancies himself a stage magician, and is seeking fame and fortune, mostly the former.
Please tell me everybody has their character sheet.
I'm Katie Coonan. I'm playing Moisha Turtlebomb. Moisha is a tailor. He went seeking adventure so that he could woo his lady love, and he's not so sure about having found it.
It should have my Marvel Heroes folder.
Yeah,
Mine
in
has
it.
also
If
a
you-
folder.
If you look for that, it's pretty.
And
valid.
well,
I
Andy's
seem
looking
to
for his
recall
Marvel
having
folder.
solid 18
I'm
for
joking,
stats.
and I'm like,
Right.
I don't want to on.
Sorry to
Sorry,
interrupt.
buddy.
We don't have any of our character sheets.
I think we just got that plus
Sorry.
4 vocal sword? Plus 4 vocal swords, right? For the party?
Yep,
Everyone?
definitely.
Crisis averted. We have our character sheets.
Oh, no. I had a 7 strength. Just thought it was an 18. Oh.
Alright, so everybody now finds out that they're less powerful than they had hoped. Now, somebody who's smarter than me, that means pretty much everybody, go ahead and describe what has been happening in this, and how did we get here?
All right.
Okay, so our quest was given by Lord Torchelon was to bring a note to Lady Genera and do whatever she asked us to do. We ran from armies for a long time. It kind of sucked. Everybody was tired and exhausted and stressed. We finally got to Lady Genera, and now what she wants us to do is accompany her on a trip far away into the next land over the mountains. But we got to go north first to find the pass. And we found a campsite and stopped for the night, but there were spies behind us, and so we killed them, and we managed to completely avoid the forces of Mordred. Shot right by us, and then we made breakfast, and they saw our smoke and are coming back. And so, after having our tense battle stuff ready for probably near 24 hours now, when we finally thought we were safe, we are reactivating everything and prepared to wipe out these horsemen.
Or just have the mighty talk, cast illusions, they run right past us, and the crisis is averted.
Hopefully. But
It's all on you, Talk. You got this.
thankfully, the smoke has dissipated enough that he could pull that off. We'll just have to see.
Be another week of build up, and then, and then there's nothing.
Hooray!
All right, I got everybody's the monster stats here, so I will start with the most obvious thing as they're trying to work their way back. Do we have the overhead map that shows the,
Cameras here.
where the miniatures are? Because that
Nope.
might be useful for people who aren't physically here to know what's happening.
Yeah, it's not really pointed at us.
It should be that one. That
yeah.
one's, I don't know what's supposed to point where anymore.
I don't think we can have.
Yeah, I don't think we have the bandwidth to
Yeah,
broadcast an additional camera.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Okay, so I guess we're mostly going to go theater of the mind then.
All right.
Well, you can still put notes on the board there.
We can still put notes on
And
the
they can
board that
occasionally
nobody can see.
Well,
They-
occasionally they do screenshots.
Yeah.
Well, they have a
And put-
screenshot of that.
Yeah, they'll do new. They occasionally do new screenshots and put them up there for us, assuming they have time.
Okay.
Our tech people, our wonderful tech people.
This is what happens when you bring in a substitute GM. So, saving throws for the villains.
All right. Is that what we want the leg breaker to be? Here.
Yeah, that looks like a fine leg breaker.
All right then.
It looks like a red line to me, but maybe I'm just seeing it at a different angle.
So, rocks.
Oh, James live in the room,
I
guys?
didn't realize what you said. I wasn't listening.
Usually,
And then I was like, wait a second.
because James is live, we have got James on camera. James could draw
The battle
positions
map.
for Katie and I, the remote players.
Oh,
That would be handy.
Right, James?
maybe we should. Anybody have
If
a?
he's willing to.
Yeah, sure. Just tell
Can
me what to
anybody
do.
text a picture to you guys?
Oh, I guess I could.
You and your newfangled technologies, or your textings, and your pictures.
If you text a picture, it'll just be in ASCII, and that might be hard to format to make sure that the spaces are in the right spots.
Yes.
You're showing your age.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm just glad I didn't say ANSI by accident. Computer nerds from the 80s.
So should I put them a picture, or do I not because
He's making a joke.
I know.
Yeah,
I,
so-
I,
Let's take a
at
look
first
at
I
the picture.
didn't realize what it was. Though.
Okay.
Do any of us have phone numbers for both of them?
I have just.
Well, I don't know.
Because we don't want to air them over the air.
Sure we do. I'm single.
Can we just take one of the cameras that's on a player and just be like, boop, battle map? Intermittently, even?
I don't know if we should move stuff around too much.
I mean, like, one on top could just be swung, and swung back up.
All right, maybe my thinking about doing battle maps was not a good idea. All right, so the soldiers, as they're marching along, are going to attempt to make a saving throw versus illusion to see whether or not they can detect the illusion that you have up. There's no modifiers to their saving throw, correct? From your spell, there's
No modifiers, but they do have. Let me see.
I have to roll higher than their saving throw.
So is
The cantrip lasts for as long as the caster concentrates,
character, like
although
normal,
each
like
round there is a
7
5% cumulative
Exactly.
chance that it will waver and reveal its true nature.
But you waited till the last minute to cast it.
Yes.
So that they would not notice that, hey, that hole in the wall is suddenly forming over.
Exactly. Touching a mirage will instantly dispel the cantrip, as will dispel illusion or dispel magic.
Okay. Well, so for this, they've got to just make their saving throws to notice that there's something wrong here.
Yes, a saving throw versus spells is applicable.
Alright. So for the first group. Fail.
Hooray.
Second one. Fail. My dice might not be as hot as they normally are and destroying people.
Hooray.
I already told Hawk we'll make up your new characters online, alive next week.
I have backup character ideas, so that is fun.
The third soldier, as it's going by, goes, huh? Oh, well, whatever. And keeps going.
Ooh, getting suspenseful here.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, it's like you just have to roll a. I'm not sure what their spells is, but it's probably anything when he rolls a 17 or higher will get him past the save. So that's about like a 1 in 8 chance. So 3 over 20, yeah, about 1 in 7. So that means he's bound to have 1 hit off of 7 rolls. Probably.
And you hear a voice with a Middle Kingdom, equivalent to Chinese accent, yelled to say, "Halt!" And it seems to be the second to the last person. Not the guy who's in the lead with his flag, but on the horse. He mentions that. Have we looked over there? Off all, I said we looked over there. And the first guy, the one who's obviously in charge, because he's got a banner, he says with a Grekos or Greek accent, "I don't see a thing. What are you talking about?"
It's a great Greek accent, by the way. Sorry, just teasing.
Yeah, because I'm intentionally not attempting accents right now.
I know. That's why you're describing it. I just had.
That's how we avoid emails.
And so the first guy throws a dagger at the wall, and it passes right through the spot.
Oh, lovely.
And unfortunately, the neck and the mouth looks like it's only 5 feet wide.
Yeah.
So they're going to dismount instead of riding their horses through.
As a reminder, River is using her ring, so she is invisible because she's not moving.
All right. Do I get a saving throw to spot you?
I don't know because
weren't you also hidden like behind bushes?
yeah, I'm hiding and I'm using the rings. I don't know what. I just have been told verbally what the ring does, so I just know it works for an hour.
Okay.
I wonder what they see when it's like, that's obviously an illusion. It's like, what are they seeing when they see that? It makes me like, that's
What they see is blurriness and the fact that you can see through a rock. It's like,
It looks translucent to people who see through it, I imagine.
yeah.
Okay.
So they can see that there's an outline of something there. Like, that's not right. I shouldn't be able to see on the other side of that rock.
Like a double image photograph,
Okay.
which young people these days probably don't have any concept of that. But back in the
olden days, we used graphing calculators to make photographs.
yeah, sure, that's what we did.
As they dismount and start coming over here, unfortunately, they're going to have to come right next by you. I can't see how they're going to miss you.
Well, she is invisible or semi-invisible and hiding.
Well, aren't we also up above?
I am down there.
She's on the ground level.
Okay.
Outside.
But
Okay.
she's wearing a magic ring.
Just the camera.
Do you have the stats on your magic ring?
Only what Hawk told me and that I wrote down. And that
Perfect,
once per day, I can use it for an hour. And basically,
As long as you hold still.
Hold still. I don't know, like, any specifics of, like, do I have to be perfectly still? Or if I'm moving very slowly, can I...
You're like
Get out
Paul.
there.
You have to hold your breath.
I imagine you can breathe. You just can't.
Walk.
Yeah, your slow moving should be limited to whenever someone's not looking at you and try and
Yeah.
sneak around.
I guess if I felt like they were gonna come towards me, like in my direction, though, I would try to slowly move out of the way. Like,
Okay.
in my hiding spot, like move back. But
I think that would expose you.
Yeah,
well,
you
I'm
should,
hiding, so behind bushes.
you should lay flat then, maybe.
Also,
Yeah.
when you move, you lose your camouflage.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what-
your ring. It's a ring of camouflage.
it's not
right?
invisibility. It's camouflage.
No, it's like it's the ring of it's like
Unobtrusiveness.
unobtrusiveness. Like it still works because I've like used it where I'm staying still and then I move, like run or walk or something, and then where I'm there, I'm hidden again.
Yeah, as soon as you're while
Yeah.
you're moving,
Yeah, while I'm
you're
moving.
visible.
I just don't know how much movement
Okay.
would cause that.
Breathing's fine.
Yeah.
Go this way and stay.
You can probably turn your head.
Super.
You
Yeah.
need a willpower save to see whether or not you move as they walk by you. You think
Well,
you're?
if they're like, because they come off from like 100 feet away, so
Yeah.
like when they start walking towards there,
And he managed to peg a 5-foot opening
Yeah.
with a dagger from horseback.
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. That should give you a warning
That he
he's
couldn't see.
No, he could see.
Oh,
He's the one who spotted
Okay, I
it and
see.
had to prove to his boss that the wall was fake.
Mm-hmm.
So they moved in close enough to thing. They didn't throw the dagger from 100 feet away.
Okay.
He had this magic dagger that just flew along and changed directions as it needed to. He did move up close enough to throw a dagger and point it out. And
So he's in dagger throwing range.
Oh.
yes, he is within dagger
Great.
throwing range of the entrance.
Roll for initiative.
Wait,
Okay,
I'm
he
gonna-
wants to attack them while they're still outside the tunnel. Got it.
I just knew that was gonna happen.
Oh, 6-sided dice for initiative.
Oh, we're on initiative.
all right.
All right. Anybody got super high dexes in my party?
Yes.
No, I meant my party.
Oh, okay.
That would adjust where they're going to go, or they're just going to go the
I'm
same
pretty
way.
sure all of your party's stats are like 10 and below.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, you could hope, but I have some pretty high numbers here. Just to give an example, 1825 is one of the numbers in the group.
1825.
Yeah.
That's for comeliness.
Yeah, that's it. There's a really sexy Greek walking up.
Okay, so the guy at the banner has superhuman strength. Now we know, and his fighter class. All right.
Now,
Spoiler.
Yay.
who's got a large number, 6 or higher, on their initiative? Anybody?
I didn't know we were rolling initiative.
Well, I just said roll initiative, so yeah. I know I say it a lot and we don't. But yeah.
I gotta say,
There is no adjustment for initiative based on dexterity in first edition.
Oh, that's just for surprise.
But there is a surprise adjustment,
Right.
and they're
Wait,
getting
so
attacked by
do they have to
surprise.
roll through surprise?
Do they have to roll for surprise?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah,
we
they
were-
do.
That's
Unless
Because they know there's a hole.
there's a reason for them not to be surprised.
All right.
The problem is they're suspicious, but they're only suspicious of the tunnel at the moment, so it's hard to say whether or not.
Yeah, because I've heard examples of surprise, like you're walking in the dungeon. It's like, okay, well, obviously I'm not going to be like, oh, it's a cakewalk, it's a dungeon. It's like, it's the dungeon. You're in for a fight, and you're still
Yeah.
like, oh, surprise.
All right. Now, I normally don't want to take the time to explain exactly what I'm doing, but just to make everybody feel more comfortable, I have taken into consideration from your points of concealment and elevation that they do not have, unless somebody does something to trigger them, that they are under attack, that they will not have the first action. Period.
Hooray!
Okay.
I mean, unless you do something like wave a flag or yell at them,
What if someone steps on River?
Okay.
that could do it.
Ow!
So,
And how close is the furthest one?
well, let's see. Dagger can be thrown at 20 feet. So the nearest
So he's
one
close.
is going to be 20 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And each one's approximately 5 feet behind the next person.
And how many total? 6?
7 that you can see.
7. So 35 feet. So 60 feet is the farthest one away,
Yes.
more or less. Okay.
So you
Cool.
could attack them while they're still outside the tunnel.
No, I'm
It's
going
not a
to
real
actually
tunnel.
get-
It's a canyon.
The kill shoot.
It would be a tunnel if there had been a roof.
Right. I'll wait till they get closer.
Okay.
Into the kill shoot with the
But
traps.
so I know everybody's initiatives.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Who has the highest one? 6 or above? You have. What is your number? 6?
5.
5?
Moshe has 6.
Katie has 6.
6 for
Moish
Moisha.
has 6.
Yeah. Farhad's on a 5.
5 for Fahar.
I'm 5'2". Talk.
Okay, and talk.
River has a
Well, I'm
2. Yep.
River
Torn
has.
has. Oh, look.
Okay.
2.
2.
1.
1. And
The
that's
knight.
everybody.
What about Karn?
Who's rolling for Karn?
He's pretty far back.
Karn is not in initiative order right now because he's far enough not to be in
Okay.
this particular
Yeah,
combat.
he's
He's
Fair enough.
200.
considerably far back.
With his unicorn.
Alright, River, Torin. Okay. So, Moisha,
Yes.
you are aware that the bad guys are coming. They have dismounted and they have moved in. The nearest one is 20 feet away. Is that reflected on the map? That the nearest person is 20 feet from the entrance?
Not yet. Let's see if these, we're going with 5 foot on the cube. So
Yeah.
5,
No,
10,
no,
15,
that's
20.
that's
Oh,
River.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So those are approximate distances I gave you. When we got them on the map, I can't really see them at all because they're not on my map. Don't worry about it. There you go. Look, little black dots that are intricately painted just for camera work. So, Moisha, what are you doing?
Watching. I'm hoping to get through this without a fight.
Okay. You want to see if they do any further investigation. Got it?
Yes.
Farhad, what are you doing?
I've got arrows knocked, but I'm waiting.
Okay. Talk.
I'm watching and waiting.
River.
River is crouching down in her hiding spot, hoping that no one finds her. If they do find her, she is going to try to run away down the path.
So are you Crouching Tiger or Hidden Dragon?
Hidden dragon.
Awesome.
Now, hidden tiger. Crouching dragon.
Torrin.
Torn is prone by the rock trap and fire grass because we have. That's where all the trap action's happening around the leg breaker. So
Yep.
he's laying down on the ground next to that,
Waiting for something interesting to happen.
basically, and trying to be hidden as best as possible.
Okay.
Can you remind me and our viewers about that leg breaker and those traps?
Okay then, so we have a leg breaker, a trench dug mostly for breaking the legs of horses, because, you know, to hell with PETA. And then we have a rock slide trap meant to crush anyone who stops in front of the leg breaker, as well as what is not on the map, unless I actually, let's grab, we got a little die.
You can draw things on there, or
Actually just a little,
Here. I got it.
oh, I have scraps of paper, which is convenient, because, or I did. Oh, the other is flaking all the way. grab that. There is a bundle of oiled grass, which will become a flame trap that Torin will rain down upon them, as well as oil in the leg breaker itself, which will ideally combust anyone who falls into it.
Okay.
And past the leg breaker is Karn with lances ready to charge and hopefully just make that a very nasty spot for people to be in.
Yeah, anybody who makes it actually past all the canyon there into the more open area will meet Karn, who's waiting on horseback to impale people. Now, they dismount, as I already mentioned, and they start moving towards things. So move everybody 30 feet closer towards the entrance.
So as in the first one would pass the entrance point and be into it?
If that's where 30 feet brings them,
Yep.
yes.
All right, then they would have a
Could be
chance of
fun.
activating the sound trap, which is immediately at the entrance.
Okay. Well, the first one.
Which I thought we took that apart when we were.
I don't.
That was only for when we were sleeping, and we dismantled it or turned it off for when we were in battle because we didn't want them to make any noise.
I think we turned it off, and and then put it back on because we were going to be in battle, and then we weren't. So Torin set it up again. But I'm
And
not
then
sure.
I don't think we actually. You're right. I don't think we actually specifically said that we deactivated it again.
Yeah. Unless someone said, actually, that was our cooking pot. Did we use a pot to cook breakfast?
I don't know. Gennaro cooked breakfast.
Yeah, so probably used your pot.
Okay, then that way, the trap is probably still set up, but there's no pot there to actually make a gong noise. It'll probably just be like a little tink trap, and they'll be like, what?
Yeah. Okay, so
Maybe the dagger they threw cut the wire.
Maybe, we'll see.
30 feet would bring the first person out.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and see if he notices anything. That, by the way, happens to be the sergeant. Move everybody else.
Are they having a 5-foot gap between them, or are they just one against the other?
5-foot gap.
30.
All right.
And they will not stay in a direct straight line of each other if at all possible.
Oh, well, that's not possible when coming in.
Well, of course. But, I mean, when it's possible, they will spread out.
I imagine someone would probably be. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
I guess they would probably stay. Well, they want to spread out. So would he be that close to the person?
And the guy with the banner would be in back.
All right. Oh,
Which
Lead
which
from
guy
the
with
rear.
banner? Oh, this one's a shield.
Yeah.
That's a shield.
That's about as spread out as we can have them without.
That's
I
fine.
guess he could be like there. Could be like spread out.
The first guy, he's looking for traps. Oh, wait a minute. This is first edition. That means that is a successful roll.
Oh, sure it is.
And he goes, huh. Hey, there's a wire here. And, I don't know, maybe it's supposed to trip somebody. Doesn't look like it's useful for much. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's a little loop here. This is the stupidest rabbit snare I've ever seen.
It would be hooked up to a slip snare, yeah. So it looks like a hunting snare.
Yeah, this is the stupidest rabbit snare I've ever seen. Okay, guys, nobody trip on the nobody be the rabbit. All right. Moisha, you taking any action at this time?
Moisha is still holding his action, but he's knocked and ready to go.
Okay. Is anybody directly next to River?
Yes.
Well, not
that's
directly.
Like 10 feet. Well, I think one
By directly means
they
the next
directly-
square over.
They just
No.
No.
one of them
There's a
though
square
directly
between
passed
them.
me though.
Okay. And that was a most terrifying moment of your life. For the last 10 seconds. As the foot steps right in front of your face. And he walks by you. Farhad, are you doing anything?
No.
Talk?
I'm gonna wait.
I'm trying to keep up the illusion because maybe we can convince them that this is just a old spell that's been just left here by someone. So I'm trying to keep it up as long as I can until I see a need for me to do anything else.
I thought it got dispelled if it was password or something.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
He
It
dispelled
vanished.
it when he threw his dagger through it.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind.
He, by the way, does pick up his dagger. Talk is doing...
Then he's just watching and waiting for some sort of moment.
Okay. River.
I am.
There's a guy who just walked right in front of your face.
Yeah. Just waiting for them to pass by.
Torin.
I'm laying face down pretty much and trying not to breathe too heavy.
Because they're going to hear me from way over there. All right. Move all the bad guys 30 feet deeper into the tunnel.
Okay.
Ooh, actually, I figured out what I wanted. What a talk would be doing.
What is that?
At this point, he would try and run along the cliff top to get to a point where he can put an illusion to cover up the traps.
Okay, the traps were camouflaged.
Well, yeah, but an extra layer of protection. You know, there's not much else he can do from up there.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're going to try to do this quietly?
Yeah.
So you can move about half your speed
Mm-hmm.
at 15 feet.
And I got small legs.
Yeah.
And make a move silently check, I guess.
Well, he'd make a dex check because he's not roguish enough to make a move silently check.
Which, is that really such a bad thing if you have a high dex?
I know.
I mean, like, you start out with like a 10% chance in this thing at level
I'm
1.
pretty sure that Farhad has a better chance of moving silently with a dex check than a move silently roll.
That's factual. But moving silently as a thief is like silent.
Yeah.
And moving silently with a dex check is just like, did somebody notice?
And how high was the cliffs from the stream?
Oh, it's 40 to 60 feet. So
That's what my phone.
Elevation
Yeah, that's what it
lines,
says.
those are 5.
you can have your phone if you would like.
So it must be the 60 feet part, because
Those are,
Yeah, you got 4 lines.
isn't it 10 foot a line? 10 foot between lines?
Oh, it might. Well, on the text though it says cliff.
QOK is my Discord.
Is anyone else getting the feeling of Luke and R2 wandering through a box canyon?
Yes.
Sorry.
Me, even despite having the superior trap, we're going to get murdered.
no, we're just gonna get scared away by an old man making loud noises. But we'll come back in greater numbers.
Okay, so everybody's moved down further. All right. Moisha.
Oh, continues to hold his action.
Farhad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll wait one more round.
Talk.
So he's going to go quietly. I mean, but how quietly would he have to be at 40 to 60 feet above?
Quiet enough that you're not knocking over rocks or jangling the things in your pockets.
True,
I
too.
mean,
So,
It's the little rocks scribbling down the hill that are going to give you away.
so my movement is 6. So if I'm going slow, that means I go 3 squares, or is that equivalent?
Your movement is 6, but it's inches, right? 6. That's what it's supposed to be.
It just says 6.
It's feet on the inside and yards on the outside, so it'd be 6 yards per turn. Is that right? No, or is it?
Oh goodness, those are phrase.
Or is it 1 feet on the inside, 10 feet on the outside? So
The measurement thing is...
Hey, remember 5e?
Yeah. I don't know what we're talking about for this fighting. But I wouldn't be able to do so many cool things with one character in 5e.
Really?
Because I wouldn't be able to have martial arts and be a magic, like the magic type of magic user I am.
Really? They wouldn't allow that, huh?
No, because she's basically a wizard.
Movement rate of 6 is 60 feet per minute, or 6 feet for every 6 seconds. So right now, 6 feet.
Wait, around 6.
If moving 12 and 6 seconds seems slow, consider conditions with a prolonged physical exertion. So, at the 6th thing, you are moving, for each segment, you can move 6 feet. So, basically, you get a square.
That's what I was afraid of, so...
But you've moved last time, so you got 2 squares.
Okay.
But if you're doing nothing else but moving, then I guess you could double that.
Oh, so you can be 4 squares.
Well, then I would have doubled
Well,
it.
it's segment 6 seconds. Distance traveled in 1 6-segment second thing. So, yeah, you're not going very fast. So,
So how many feet are there? 30 feet. They're moving 30 feet, and I take it they're not traveling special, they're just walking? Or are they traveling special to spot for traps?
well, no, they did the spots and traps at the beginning, and they've been moving at a movement rate of 15, which is 15 feet per segment. They've been doing double movements, so
Okay.
all they've been doing is just.
So, so how long how much area does a check for traps in?
Well, they only did a check for traps at the entrance.
Okay.
So right now their check for traps is 0.
Okay.
Because they're not doing as good a look as possible. They saw a really poorly designed rabbit snare and aren't feeling threatened by it.
I just like that that I've got this near perfect illusion of a cliffside, and then immediately inside is what they think is the worst rabbit trap ever.
Torin, master of psychological warfare.
On accident.
It's like this is seems like this is a wizard who's desperately trying to catch food when he has no idea how to make traps.
And so that was Talk Moving River. What are you doing?
Alright, I'm waiting for them to go all the way in, so just scratching there, waiting.
Okay. And Torin?
Trying not to breathe heavy.
Okay. The sergeant puts his hand, moment. He is very well convinced that there's nothing wrong at this point. He looks around. Did I hear something? No. But because of the pause and the looking around, suspicion stuff, everybody moves forward 15 feet.
10, 15.
All right. Moisha.
Moisha is waiting still. He's not going to instigate this fight.
You're not going to strike the first blow. Got it. Farhad, are you going to strike the first blow?
Heck yeah!
Right now?
Yes, right now.
Okay.
Farhad uses one of his remaining 6 Mordredian shock arrows that he stole off a Mordredian scout that we killed a long time ago. he used one of them and thought it was a death arrow, but then that dude woke up. Yeah. Ah, shocked him. He's dead. Awesome. Oh no, I've been stabbed in the leg. I mean, it took 2 rounds or 4 rounds or something for him to wake up, but yeah. And I'm going to shoot the last guy. I'm going to shoot before the last guy.
Okay. He's carrying a banner in the miniature, but right now, of course, he left the banner behind on the horse.
Sure.
And you must do the old-fashioned roll to hit.
Yep. 22, 19 plus 3 for missile adjustment. Do I get a surprise adjustment of another plus 3?
Yes.
And do they have to roll a
25?
surprise now?
They are surprised.
Hooray! Then you get triple your rate of fire. I love that part.
Oh. Sweet.
Are you on the thief or the fighter scale? You're on the fighter scale, right?
Well, I'm only wearing thief equipment, so.
No, for your attack roll, since you can't do sneak attack with ranged weapons, you'd be doing fighter because there's no reason to be acting as a thief right now for your attack rolls.
Okay, there you go. Whatever gives me more. I'm a thief fighter. I can double dip or pick and choose.
Logic.
Yeah.
And you're what, 3rd level equivalent?
I am 3rd level thief, 2nd level fighter.
But your total is like 25, you said?
25. 19
All right.
plus 3 for my missile adjustment. No, that's only 22. 22.
There was a surprise adjustment you were saying?
I have a surprise adjustment because of my dexterity
Okay.
of plus 3 and a missile adjustment of plus 3.
It is a good and solid hit because that was a ridiculously high number. You would have hit like armor class -6 or something like that. Negative something or other. Doesn't matter what. You hit.
Would have gone clean through or something.
Right. Now, because I've used these once before, I know that there is a shock element, like a stun or something.
Mm-hmm.
And also damage. I think the damage is just normal 1 through 6. Do you have any of the information for these particular arrows?
I do. I'm pulling it up right now.
Cool.
Triple rate of fire. That's how you win the game. Yeah.
So this is good news. He's having to look up the stats for this arrow, so that means none of these guys have these arrows.
That's not true. The reason I have the stats and the arrows is because that they would have their arrows.
Okay, so maybe some of these guys have these arrows.
Farhard can restock afterwards.
That's good.
Oh, by the way, I need to remind you guys of the house rules before we get any further.
All right. This is where we talk about crits and wounds, separate from the normal dice of HP
Yes,
damage.
mistheroes.com about mistheroes.com/about/house-rules/-HP. I'm supposed to read these before we started combat. Don't make fun of me. All right. House rules about.
Well, we technically just started combat, so you're only a few seconds late.
Yeah. House rules about one's con determining how far negative a PC can go before death. At 0 hit point, combat action possible, about to pass out, but can take 1 round every. I should probably say not possible, but can take 1 round of very simple action for something basic like quaffing a healing potion, an herb, etc., if already out of the pack or within easy reach, and then pass out the following round, unless that brings it back up to 1 hit point or higher. So you take a healing potion, you can go right back to combat. You are considered stable at 0 and do not lose hit points unless you're bleeding for other reasons. negative hit points to the equivalent of their con stat. So if a con 13 can go to negative 13 and still be alive, but a negative 14 is dead. And someone with a con 6 can go to negative 6 and still be alive, but dead at negative 7 or lower. Once negative, must make a successful con check to stabilize, otherwise at negative 1 or lower, lose 1 hit point per round, con check each round to auto-stabilize. If someone with a healing skill or magic succeeds with check, then can also stabilize, countdown to death. Of course, if you do healing magic that brings you up to 0 or higher, you automatically are stable anyways. And I apologize in advance that I am not going to run this as smoothly or as wonderfully as Hawk would have, because this is his story. Got some new notes about Dranera.
Does the shock from the shock arrow cause the 7 cyborg soldiers to all short out simultaneously?
Wrong game.
Okay.
No, right game, just wrong point. Because this is
Yeah,
a
I haven't got
multiverse.
through that mist yet.
This is a multiverse campaign. So those could be handy if we end up finding ourselves in Shadowrun or something.
Yeah. Although I think Hawk calls it a multiverse because it's a epic poem, like Beowulf. Just one universe, but lots of verses.
Yes.
Song.
Okay.
That one physically hurts Joe.
Besides, if you're gonna do those,
You're welcome.
if you're gonna do
And
something
Beowulf is
in
a
the
saga,
Iliad.
correct?
Sure, yeah.
That's the technical term for a Nordic epic. So you shoot him, he gets hit, and I remember what I was looking up for before I got distracted by giving you the rules. So it's another die 6 of damage.
Mm-hmm. 3.
He does not have the stats for the shocking ones. He has ones for explosive and death arrows.
We'll just say it's a death arrow then, right? Sounds good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
So
an
death plus
exploding.
It
death
automatically kills the person who fired it. That's what it is.
No! It shoots backwards.
He shot
That
himself
would
in the
be
back
shocking.
5 times with a crossbow. All right. So I'm gonna give him a save. Oh, just barely makes it. So he's able to keep standing up even though there's a big shock. How much damage did you do to him?
3?
He said 3.
Is that including the extra die 6?
Oh, okay.
Farhad.
Maybe we lost him?
Is Farhad on
He's just an icon.
3 and 6 is 9.
9? Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Alright, he takes 9 points of damage.
He takes no points of damage.
Alright. Talk!
Let's see.
Fighters are die 10 for hit points, right?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Outside, what are inches?
Yards.
Yards are 10 foot.
it's 10 yards.
10 yards. Okay.
So 1 inch mark is 10 yards outside, 10 feet inside.
Okay, that's what I was getting confused on. Okay.
Okay. And so that's 10 yards would be math.
30 feet.
30 feet? Yeah. Yeah, 3 feet to a yard. Yeah.
You're trying to figure out how far you can cast a spell?
Yeah. No, I can't do that one, so never mind.
Okay.
I mean, I think we're still technically counted as outside? Or is
We
this...
are definitely outside.
So...
Yeah.
Okay.
So in that case, I am going to cast Color Spray.
Okay.
It's the rainbow thing that caused villagers to trample each other.
Nope. That's that was Dancing Lights.
Oh.
Or that, no, that was the rainbow. That was a cantrip rainbow. This is an actual full-on illusion spell.
Okay.
Upon casting this spell, the illusionist causes a vivid fan-shaped spray of clashing colors to spring forth from his or her hand. From 1 to 6 creatures within the area of effect can be affected. The spellcaster is able to affect one level or hit die of creatures for each of his or her levels of experience. Affected creatures are struck unconscious for 2 to 8 rounds if their level is less than or equal to that of the spellcaster. They are blinded for 1 to 4 rounds if their level or number of hit dice is 1 or 2 greater than the illusions, and they are stunned for 2 to 8 segments if their level or number of hit dice is 3 or more greater than the spellcaster. All creatures above the level of the spellcaster and all creatures of 6th level or 6 hit dice are entitled to a saving throw versus the Color Spray spell. The material components of this spell are a pinch of each...
You don't
powder.
need that?
Yeah.
So, I assume you move up closer to the wall,
Yes.
5-foot step. Click.
and you rain it down.
I probably have enough motion to go
Okay.
more over there.
But since you're not trying to be quiet anymore.
Yeah.
And which targets are you going to be able to hit?
I should
Assuming
have
not the front guy.
I should have a spray for. I should have potentially. So area of effect is a 1/2 inch by 2 inch by 2 inch wedge.
Right. But you also have a number of people that you can do. It's per your level.
Let's see here. That was
1 per level. Of
1 to 6 creatures within the area of effect can be affected.
Next line.
The spellcaster is able to affect 1 level or hit die of creatures for each of his or her levels of experience.
So you're level 2?
I am level 2.
So you can get 2 hit die of creature.
Okay.
So effectively you can hit 1 guy?
If
Or 2 for 1 level? Is that how it works? Like if you split up, you can hit 2 guys but as a level 1 spell versus 1 guy at level 2 for the effects?
it's you can from what I'm hearing is that if you have a single target that's a higher level than you, but then it's stunned, that doesn't make sense.
Here, you want to...
Yes.
I think it's meant to, when you're high level, spook the moobs and just...
top right of the page.
I think if you're hitting someone higher, they have more dice
It had a
than
lot
the
of-
dice you contribute to them.
It had a lot of words in there.
There's lots of words. Hey guys, remember 5e?
It's like 2 sentences. And the
Everyone
first
makes
level
save.
spells
They
are...
fail save, they have bad thing. They make save, they have maybe less bad thing. Save good.
Don't
There's
say
still
that.
some
That one
complicated
line.
stuff.
They're more powerful. They have lower effect if fail.
See, now, on one line it says all creatures above the level of the spellcaster
Yes.
are allowed a saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
But it also then says that you can't affect people that are below your. I mean, you can only affect up to the number of hit die.
If they're below, they don't get a saving throw.
Yeah.
I think if you had if you can throw your
The
level 10, you throw
spellcaster
like
is able
8.
to affect one level or hit die of creatures for each of his or her levels of experience. That doesn't.
So it's an automatic effect with no saving throw if it's at their level or below.
That's like
Right.
later. There's like 2 sections.
So, quick question: are any of these guys level 2 or 1?
No.
Okay, then we don't have to worry about it having an automatic effect.
Yeah, we
They
just
gotta
have to make
save.
saving throws. Okay, well,
So I think the question comes down to, I think you can split it up. So let's say they're all like level 6, and you can do one guy at level 2, and so if he's
No.
4 hit dice above
now
you,
I think we're going to have to ignore that one line there because it doesn't make any sense.
okay.
Because if that first line is true, then you can't affect anybody at a higher level than you, so they don't need to have a saving throw.
You can.
Right.
You
So-
should be able to affect someone at a higher level. Let's say he focused all his hit dice on one guy who's a higher level than him. They get a saving throw, but if it hits, then they still have to be like stunned.
I
So
think in
all
order
of
to
his
get-
hit dice is 2.
Yeah, so that guy's level 4. I think there's something like if they are 1 hit die above you, they are stunned for X number of segments. And if they're above that, then it's like nothing.
So,
So-
I'm thinking you can do the number of creatures, not number of hit dice, for your level. So you're level 2, so you can get 2 targets.
Okay.
Which
That's
2
better.
targets?
I guess the 2 in the middle that are right below me. So that would be the
center ones?
the 3rd and 4th from the leader.
So,
Okay. So
shield guys.
third and 4th would be 7, 6, and 5. No, 7 and 6 would be the ones. No, you're not. It was the second or third person.
These 2 right here, right?
Those 2. So that would be.
So 3rd and 4th from the leader.
Yeah. Strangely enough, the numbers are really. So, just to help me keep track, the guy in the far back with the flag, he is number 1.
Okay.
Okay, so reverse of that, it would be
Well, and number
4 and 5.
2 is the guy in the very front,
Oh, okay.
So 1.
and number
2,
3 is the one in front of the lieutenant,
So
the the banner.
almost all the way back. Okay.
So
Okay.
like this one. Is
That's
3.
3.
Okay.
And 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. Got the list. Here we go.
So I believe that would be
6.
6 and 7.
6,
6
No,
and 5.
5.
6
6
and 5.
5 and 6.
yeah, 5 and 6.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
Could we rearrange these guys?
1, 2, 4, 5.
All right. So they are 1 hit die above your requirement, so they get a saving throw.
This is.
Hey, they're only level 3. Yay.
The ones that you're attacking.
Yeah, 5
Yeah.
and 6. Yep. That looks right.
Yeah.
All right.
1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2.
So they need a 16 or higher on their saving throw.
Me count good.
And they do not make their saving throw. So all creatures above the level squad cast creatures 6 level damage are entitled to saving throw versus color spray. The material. Dice is 1 or 2 greater than the illusionist. They are stunned. So those guys are stunned.
Woot.
Done. Awesome.
For 2 to 8 segments.
That's almost a whole round.
The first one is 3 segments.
So 6 is 3 segments.
Yep. And the second one is 8 segments. Again, normally the DM keeps all this information secret, but your guys are helping me keep track of this stuff. So,
Okay.
player knowledge versus character knowledge. You have no idea when they're going to start popping up. Don't act like you do. So talk is done. River.
River's gonna wait to see what they do because she doesn't want to give away her position quite yet.
All right. By the way, those in the audience, if we have one, do know that I am winging most of this. Live with it.
So anybody in the general area of me would have seen me basically shoot lasers at these two guys and
Shoot
have them stop
rainbows.
moving.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that
Yeah.
almost everybody saw that happening.
Yeah.
Torin might not have.
The-
Torin's got his face in the dirt.
The two in the front
haven't
might
had
not,
it
they were just, they were just in front.
Everybody on the cliff except Torin.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 of them all now have 1 target.
So good old Talkwit Rivers doing nothing. Torin is keeping his fate in the dirt.
I'm looking up to see what's happening now of all the commotion, because I'm sure someone yelled out when they got shot by an arrow. So I'm probably now seeing what's happening. And if I have to spring my traps, no. Okay.
Nobody's now far enough up there to make it worthwhile to try to spring their traps.
Nope. No, we're not.
So you're just holding your action?
Yeah.
All right. Now, the actual, in real life, military response to this thing is you're supposed to run through the ambush.
Yes, that is the American way. If you're ambushed, you charge for cover. It makes you a moving target, and you eliminate their superior position. Whereas the British like to sit there and shoot the hell out of high caliber weapons. And who else? The Indians from India prefer to retreat.
Yeah.
Military combat. Yeah.
Our army prefers to charge forward. So move everybody ahead.
Wait, are they going to have to make some sort of throw or roll or anything to bypass their stunned friends?
No, they don't have to make a roll. They just slows them down.
Okay, then. So these are how much?
Move them. Attempt to move them 30 feet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will pass by the leg breaker at that point.
Will both of them pass by the leg
no,
breaker?
just the first one.
Okay. Saving throw for the leg breaker. Not good at all.
I spring my traps.
And how many spaces was that they could move?
She moved her 30. Like the last one segment was past that. They would have moved 30. These three
Well, she-
here haven't moved.
So
Those ones are going to... The
These
ones that
are
are
stunned,
stunned don't
yeah.
move at all.
So those two back there.
do 5, and then now he's blocked. So
Well, they're going to squeeze by.
he can do 10,
Yeah, just double
5,
it.
10. All right.
and basically 25. He's in the middle of the two because he can't do. Oh, what is it? Round up or down?
Up.
Okay, so then he's
We'll just squeeze by, and that means this guy. 5,
He's the one who gets
10,
stuck in between
15,
yeah,
20.
he'd be actually
So this guy,
on
would he
the
not
same
enter in?
space.
Yeah, he will not enter in.
All right, so they bunch up there, and him?
5, 10.
He waits
15.
there.
Oh, he waits back
No,
in?
yeah,
Oh.
he's going to fire.
All right, since I held my action, can I now use this point to spring my traps I've been sitting on?
After the lieutenant fires.
Okay.
Okay. +1.
I don't imagine he would have had a very good line of sight with me. Probably would have seen where the spray came from generally, but
He is firing back where the person fired at him.
oh, I see,
Yes.
I see.
I think Farhad should
That's-
probably-
Farhad shot him and has cover.
I forgot that he got shot.
He didn't.
How does cover work in this one? Is it one of these flat minuses to your attack, or is it one of those things like you have a 1 1/4 chance of simply missing because of cover, and then
There's an armor class bonus.
okay.
So, what is your armor class, Farhad?
My armor class is 4.
Okay. But you are
And-
crouched down behind those rocks, right?
I am.
So you would agree that you have about 75% cover?
Yeah, I'll take 75%.
Okay, it's -7. So what's your armor class after that -7?
Then I'd be -3.
-3. And I am going to need to roll a 15 to hit you.
Pardon?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's not accurate. It's a little lower than that.
Wow.
And I do hit you. He gets it right between the rocks with that nice high roll.
So he shot an arrow up 40 to 60 feet behind some rocks and hit me?
Barely got you.
Okay.
Just part of whatever was exposed.
Yep.
He just had a Robin Hood-like level shot.
Yeah, he did. With that 75...
Well,
That's pretty impressive for a guy who just got electrocuted and shot with an arrow.
He's also the leader.
yeah. Of course, he would have hit you 1 1/4 times. So if he had 4 shots, he'd hit you once. You basically make that shot all day. Hey, remember 5e?
Don't remind me.
I'm waiting for a damage roll.
Yep, coming up.
This is one of the death arrows.
It is.
If you don't give him the damage within 30 seconds,
He takes
he
triple.
takes none.
I said it first. I win. All right. 7 points of damage. And plus the explosion. I'm trying. He's got bleeding damage here, and I don't think that happens with exploding ones. That's just the death arrows. So, another 6 points.
All right.
As this thing literally explodes. So basically, even if it missed you, the explosion got you. And you're conscious, correct?
That's 0. I'm at 0.
Okay.
Well,
And that's their turn.
Torin! Traps!
Torrens, which trap are you going to trigger?
I'm triggering.
Yes.
Yeah. That means I don't get to take my second shot per round, right?
You got knocked to 0 before your
whoa.
turn.
Hold up.
Because
Was he surprised?
because my number of attacks with a
All
bow
right.
is 2 per turn. Does that mean I don't get to take my second attack because I shot once and got hit and taken out?
wouldn't this happen at the same time?
Hold it. Torin actually brought up an excellent point. They're surprised.
If they're surprised, they make a save against surprise to see if they get any actions at all. And if they don't and they are surprised until they are unsurprised, we have 3 times the rate of fire, assuming you have the ammo preset, which you declared.
There's no save versus surprise. You're either surprised or you're not
No,
surprised.
it's like you roll the 1d6, so you get your surprise 1/3 left often, or however you do it.
Right.
Yeah. There's not a saving throw, but it's like when you roll the d6, if you roll like a 1 is
but
bad, and
I'd
2
already
is worse.
determined that they were going to be surprised.
Okay, so
which means they don't get an action until their next turn.
So that means Farhad has 6 attacks this round.
It also means that the ones that ran could not have ran.
True.
Nobody could move. So put everybody back.
Reset time.
I apologize. Yes, they are surprised. They have to take this first round of pain and misery.
Okay, so I think everything.
So Farhad,
The shield
the
guys-
explosion reverses itself up, and the arrow retracts back into his bow.
Because that's the guy that got...
You've had this flash of a psychic ability where you saw that arrow coming at you.
Okay. Here and here's the 5.
Hawk, you are no longer allowed to travel.
All right then. So
Unless
thinking with 50.
you're able to remotely...
So that means in this surprise round, since we are the non-surprise party, anyone who can make attacks that are ranged attacks gets bonuses. If it's melee attacks, you don't get bonus attacks for whatever reason. Don't know why.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't
Can you
make
show
any-
me that in the player's handbook where it says that's the...
Yeah, no, I went through a lengthy PDF describing how you don't want to get surprised because it will murder you, especially if they're archers. So
Okay.
I will hunt that down though. Yeah.
Where were we?
God, I'm trying to find anything in this book.
And since we're still on segments, we're still on a surprise round.
Okay.
But-
changes what I.
We're going to speed this up, and everybody's going to do their full amount of attacks. Moisha, what do you...
It might be in the actual Dungeon Master talking about how surprise works. I'm not 100% certain how this.
Okay, so the last thing that happened, Talk did his color spray. The Talk's color spray still went off, but Farhad, go ahead and finish emptying your arrows. Let's just do all at once. Since it's a surprise round, you don't have to wait for their actions.
Right. So I'm going for him again.
You definitely want
19.
That's going to hit.
You definitely want to make sure you kill this guy because he just
I don't want to be killed.
He just almost one shot you.
You don't know
Did
that.
Moisha's turn get missed?
I'm not sure what's going on.
No. We're gonna get to you in
Not
just a
yet. We
second.
just messed up order.
Okay.
He's got some bonus rounds.
Okay, where are we?
Then you'll have some bonus rounds
up
too.
To?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had done Moisha. Moisha was holding.
Okay.
Farhad opened fire. Then Talk did his lings, but we're going back to Farhad and him finishing his arrows that he should have finished firing.
Okay.
Because
Gotcha,
I didn't
thank
account
you.
for this.
And that's 6 total.
He's verifying that you get 6 rounds. I don't.
Okay,
triple
Tripling
for
my
fire.
rate of fire.
Yeah, I'm
Which
trying
is-
to find where it covers how the rate of fire changes. If surprise exists, the surprise party can use the time segments to flee, escape, close, or attack. Distance of 10 feet or less can usually be closed and an attack made in one segment as opposed to one round. Physical attacks during surprise situations are also possible on a 1 per segment basis, whether the form is by weapon, projectile, or method intrinsic to the creature, claws, fangs, even a breath weapon. Use magic spells require the proper number of segments for casting time. So if you're casting magic, you don't get any bonuses. This says 1 per segment, so you get an attack per segment as opposed to attack per round. And there's this whole breakdown on, not in this book, but it compiles all the rules from the Dungeon Masters and the Player's Handbook, showing the breakdown for how things worked out. And it was just ridiculous if you use any sort of projectile weapon, because you got multiple attacks per attack, and each one happened on
I
a
think
segment.
that's a misinterpretation that your number of attacks per round suddenly became tripled. I think you still get only the number of attacks per round you get.
See initiative here after.
But
So let's
it
take
does
that for now.
Player's Handbook up above where he was just reading, it says surprise dice, has a difference of how many segments they lose depending on.
Yeah, it's like you
How
don't want to
surprised
roll
they
a
are.
2, you want to roll a 1 if you are going to be surprised, because 2's even worse somehow. It was really weird.
So how many segments? I'm supposed to figure out how many segments they're surprised for.
Yes, okay, then. Assume the party of characters moving silently.
Yeah, let's bring out somebody watching it.
Neither
Okay,
could be
cool.
surprised,
Glad
neither
you can
could
see
be
it.
surprised as shown table. Parties die, 3 to 6. Surprise effect none. Parties die 5 to 6. Parties die 1. Both party. Right, we're not going to be surprised because we know they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Only flaws. He should be
Those
a
of
little bit
like
more
negate the
panicked
chance of
looking.
surprising a monster.
That's cool.
Similarly, if the party is aware of a monster, the party cannot be surprised by it unless it is also aware of them. In the latter case, it might be able to hide and ambush the party. Yeah. So, and I know Moisha has something that changes because she's a ranger, how our surprising works, just by being here. We surprise on a...
Moisture surprises on a higher level than
Yeah,
everybody
but
else.
I think it affects the party.
Well, again, that's irrelevant because they're surprised regardless.
Yeah, but...
Right.
And I don't think there's a number of...
The example they give of surprising a monster is 4 of 6 chances to surprise.
Right.
And the monster has 2 of 6. If the characters are moving silently, pretty much have an
We
ambush.
know they're surprised.
Yes.
So
So
how long are they surprised for?
I
It's
think we
one round.
roll...
It's 1 round.
It's not 1 round because you roll it and it makes time different before initiative starts. It's really weird. Because we act by the segment per round and however many segments you have in a round. And yeah, you can have 2 rounds of surprise if they roll 2 and we roll a 1 or...
We're going to simplify this. We're going to go for 1 round of free actions on your guys' part.
We can worry about that when when Hawk's back.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this really simple. You have 1 round of regular actions. You don't get triple attacks or any of those funny things. I think 3 arrows and they
All right.
can't move.
Each
is
one.
probably-
Okay, here's something farther up. All right. Some monsters are more capable of surprising than others. Each one of surprise equals 1 segment, 6 seconds of time lost to the surprised party, and during the lost time, the surprised party can freely act to escape or attack or whatever in both parties. So for each segment of surprise is like a free round.
Right.
Yeah, so we get to roll out, and there's a difference in segments, and however many segments is what we get, how many surprise segments we get.
I like the simplified version.
Yeah, it's really weird. We can go
You're going to be a lot more effective with my version. And I don't have my brain broken. All right, so how many shots per round do you normally get?
2.
Then take both of them.
Cool. I took the first one. We've already recorded that. The second one was a hit, and the damage was 4. It still is 4.
Okay.
Do I get? I get an adjustment to hit, not an adjustment to damage with my dexterity. Is that right?
Correct.
Cool. And then it's also a shock arrow, so he has to save for shock again.
He made it.
So the total damage he's taken is 13.
Okay.
For my
Alive,
2
but not
rounds
happy about
in
it.
this surprise round.
Yep. All right. So, Moisha was readying an action. Farhad took his actions. Talk took his actions. River is deciding to do what?
Oh, well, I feel like I should do something now.
River, well, you
surprise.
said you were waiting
I don't want to give away
to
my
get behind everybody.
I guess I could get behind him because he can't see where I am if I'm behind him.
And he's being distracted by getting hit with
Yeah,
arrows.
so I will. I can move here
And
behind him.
his right side peripheral vision is blinded by something that's going on further up the cavern.
Okay, so I'm gonna move behind him and then throw my daggers. I get 3 attacks per round when I throw daggers.
Okay, so you come running up and go, "Choo-choo-choo-choo-choo," and a rain of daggers comes at him.
That is 12, 1, and 10. Wow, that was really bad.
All right, and you are considered a magic user,
Yes.
and you are between 1 and 5th level, and you are trying to hit armor class of. How many times did you roll higher than a 19? Or a 19 or higher?
No.
Okay. So you threw them and they went clang, 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 clang off his nice, shiny armor.
And then I stand still so he can't see me when he turns around.
Yeah. And chainmail. Ching, 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 ching. And his shield.
Well, I don't think his shield is behind him, but
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it just adds to
Yeah.
their armor.
No, it actually does work that way. And there's only a limit of 1 attack per combat round that they can deflect. True story.
Well, let's add +2 to our roll. Do you still get above 19?
no.
Okay.
I rolled horribly.
He's got a high armor class, and she did not roll anything high enough to, even if he had no shield. He
Even
misses.
if he didn't have a decent armor class, I'm not sure if I did.
Let's see here.
Let's check.
17 or higher on any of those rolls?
Oh, no, I rolled really bad.
Okay. So we've clarified that River has made it rain metal, and the metal went clang, 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 clang.
Yes.
And then Turin saved the day by waiting.
I am prepared to set off my traps should anyone come across that leg breaker. That was my job.
Yep, okay. Bad guys lose their round. We're back now at the top of the initiative. They have not been able to act yet. So, Moisha, what are you doing?
Okay, Moisha will now take a shot with the regular arrow.
2.
Oh yeah, Moshe never got a turn.
In the surprise round.
Because she skipped her turn.
Okay.
Okay.
She says, I'm waiting.
Okay.
Did you want to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I want what?
No, we're good. Just go ahead.
Yep.
What are you doing now?
Okay. So I will now take a shot. Is the leader down?
No, he's still up.
He's very not happy though.
Okay, I will shoot at him.
Okay.
And that's a 17. Does that hit?
You're a fighter?
Yeah,
Well, ranger.
ranger.
Yeah, same matrix.
Yeah.
And you are what level?
2. That was, 16 plus my dex bonus
Yeah.
for missile.
Well, if he deflected even one of those daggers, then that would drop him down to there. What was your total score to hit?
17.
Because he didn't get to use his shield, you hit him.
Okay. And damage is 5.
Do some quick math here.
The arrow goes deep into his shoulder, severing his arm from his body.
Yes, of course it did. Now hush.
Thank you for clarifying.
Then the arm goes flying and actually
There was a
stabs the
very
guy in front of
vital
him.
piece of information Hawk didn't provide me, so I have to do the math and take it now.
Okay.
Oh, dang. These guys are all undead. We're wasting our time.
All right. That's a lot of hit points. Okay.
They're all Driders in disguise.
Drider in the storm. Okay.
Except the leader's a beholder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got a pair of fake legs just dangling below
He
him.
is not as hurt as I thought he was. But he's still angry about being shot at.
Boo!
How many shots per round do you get?
She
I
gets,
think, do I get 2?
Bo is 2.
Okay,
Okay,
so
then I-
fire your second one, please.
Get a second one. Just 3 to hit.
3 misses. You successfully killed a rock on the other side of the cliff.
Woohoo!
Hey! That was
Wow,
a
those
rock.
are giant birds. That's amazing.
So, Farhad, are you going to light him up?
Yes, I am. Shock and awe. That's 19? Yeah, 16 plus 3 is 19.
Man, you roll high. Okay.
I'll take it. I'm not going to complain.
So you should have
And
gotten a 20.
Because you're third level to hit his armor class of 4. You needed a 14 or better to hit him.
yeah, it's 5.
5 points of damage.
But damage, yeah.
You rolling? Are you doing a shock arrow or?
Shock arrow, yeah.
So that was 2 die 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't roll the second die for the last shock arrow, and no. Shit. Sorry, bad language. Where's my die? On the ground. Okay. Well, let's roll my second die. First one was 5. This one is 3, so that's 8 for this one.
Okay. You said you didn't roll it for the last one?
I didn't roll the second D6 for the last one, but we'll call that user error, and let it slide.
Are you sure? Because he just shot it. He's not shot it in an alternate reality. He shot an exploding
We
arrow.
won't call it user error. We'll call it
Just
making
roll
up
it.
for it, and that's a 6.
All right. So we were at 13 before you added the numbers in there. What's the total now?
Oh, we're 13 plus. Moisha hit him once.
That was
For
including
5.
Morsha hitting him. So your damage that you just added would be...
Was 6 plus 13 is 19.
Okay.
Plus 8 is 27.
Okay.
All right.
He's still
And
okay.
now, the second arrow of this turn
Okay.
is 9 plus 3 is 12.
Misses.
Happy? Yeah.
I'm not happy.
Oh.
I'm sure at this point, our substitute GM
Here it is.
here wants us to waste all these guys in like 10 minutes and move on.
Roaring.
Is it time for a break, guys?
No, I'm reading
It
rules.
is time for a break. He can rule later during the break.
Even if distance prevents striking with weapons, the discharge of arrows, bolts, or hand-hurled weapons is permissible at 3 times the normal rate, providing the weapon missiles are already otherwise at normal rates for rounds.
Oh, that's the...
3-time rate of fire. Boom!
And you just lost the page.
Page 62.
Okay, we're on break. I guess we'll add the additional arrows in. And we'll sit here and spend an hour just doing
But
the
daggers
damage.
also count as a
The officials are going to the slow-mo replay.
Right there.
We get full rounds of attacks, so if you are a fighter that could do 2 attacks in a round, and rather than having to break them up with other people's rounds, you just do your 2 back-to-back. And if you have missile weapons, you have 3 times the rate of fire. That is bolts from crossbows. That makes no sense. How do you reload that fast? Like you're really
Right, crossbow, you couldn't do it.
But bows and arrows,
Daggers.
daggers, yeah. And
I
the
got
thing is that
shuriken.
I know I talked to Hawk one time. He's like, "Yeah, it's murder," and like that makes no sense. That's just ridiculous because it is one.
It is ridiculous, but we are playing first edition. I am trying to be doing as raw as possible.
Yes.
Even though I'm going to switch you all to 5th edition while Hawk isn't looking.
Yeah. And the way you do supplies.
We're still streaming, bro.
You're supposed to put us on break now.
Okay, we're going on break.
Yes.
We'll be back.
Pretty much.
Maybe.